Let's rank some waiver wire ads up next on Fantasy Baseball Today in 5. Welcome into FBT in 5 on Monday, July 1st, just about the halfway point of the season, and we're still here. We're still running our fantasy teams. I am Frank Stampfl, joined by Scott White, and let's talk waiver wire pitchers, some names that could be out there in shallower leagues. Brandon Pfaadt had a great start up against Oakland this weekend. 6 innings, 1 run with 8 strikeouts. Reese Olson looked very good once again at the Angels. 6 innings, 2 runs, 9 strikeouts. Andrew Heaney had a great start at the Orioles on Sunday Night Baseball. 7 innings, 2 runs with 10 strikeouts. And Gavin Williams was reinstated from the IL on Sunday. He will make his season debut Wednesday against the White Sox. Scott, how would you rank Gavin Williams, Andrew Heaney, Reese Olson, and Brandon Pfaadt?
Well, the one we were clearly the most excited about way back when was Gavin Williams before he suffered that elbow injury in spring training. Had a rookie season that kind of started off a little bumpy, but then he picked things up as he went along and was a really high-end prospect. So him coming back, I have enough enthusiasm for that I think I'm going to slot him in number 1 here. But he's just edging out Reese Olson, who I also am excited about. I've said positive things about Reese Olson pretty much all season. He had those 2 really rough starts earlier in June, but has bounced back here with 3 terrific starts, all of them quality starts, and has been getting more strikeouts during that stretch. He had 9 in this start Saturday at the Angels, and over the 3-start stretch, 20 strikeouts and 18 in the 3rd inning. So we're seeing that K per 9 rate go up for the season. 2 excellent swing and miss pitches in the slider. And the changeup just has had a little trouble sequencing them and to in a way that leads to strikeouts, putting hitters away. But I think Reese Olson is trending the right direction, and he's not bad just the way he is. So Olson's going to be number 2 there behind Gavin Williams. Number 3, I'm going to say, is Brandon Pfaadt, who can have some really big strikeout games. It's just inconsistent, but he tends to work deep into games, has a good offense backing him. I think he's better probably for points leagues than Roto, but he's decent. So Pfaadt's 3rd. Andrew Heaney, I'm going to say, is 4th, just because he's showing signs of the upside he had in 2022, which was a really good year for him. He was with the Dodgers back then, remember. The slider, it was up more than 2 miles per hour in this latest start, the 10 strikeout effort at Baltimore. And he ended June with a 3.41 ERA, 1.11 whip, 10.2 K per 9. Granted, 3 of the 6 starts were not so great and 3 were really great. So there have been some consistency issues. I'm not totally buying into Andrew Heaney, but I at least have some optimism for him. And those are the only 4 I really care about here. So, I don't know who else you asked about, but I'll stop by ranking those 4.
Those were the only 4 that I threw out there, Scott.
Perfect.
Would you drop either Yusei Kikuchi or Nick Pivetta to pick up any of those 4 names?
I don't really want to drop either. I could see, just from the perspective of it's a shallow league, Kikuchi and Pivetta have been rough lately. You could get away with sneaking them through and maybe taking a shot on Olson or Williams instead, my top 2 from the previous group. But I think they're all basically in the same category in terms of upside versus downside. So I'm gonna lean no on that.
Okay. Let's rank some corner infielders that could be out there. If you lost a Bryce Harper, you could be looking for some help right now. And Andrew Vaughn wrapped up a really nice June where he hit .337 with 6 homers and a .932 OPS. Jose Miranda has started 9 of the past 10 games for the Twins, and he's hitting well. .297 batting average, .826 OPS. And Nate Lowe looks like he's picking things back up. Last 10 games, batting .342 with 2 homers, 8 RBI, and 1 steal. Scott, how would you rank Lowe, Miranda, and Andrew Vaughn?
I'm going to put Nate Lowe at the top, or Nathaniel Lowe if you prefer, at the top. Mostly just because he plays for the Rangers, and it's been a middling lineup so far, but still a lot of upside for that lineup. And he would benefit if they take off Andrew Vaughn will be number 2 here. Jose Miranda 3. But it's not a huge distinction between these guys, to be perfectly honest. Kind of, I'd almost approach it as who has the best matchups coming up, which, if I look here at my little matchups grid for week 15,
I believe you have the White Sox as a top 5.
I do. So maybe that puts Vaughn at the top of the list. The Twins and Rangers matchups aren't bad. I'll stick with my original ranking. Lowe, Vaughn, Miranda. Obviously, if you need third base help, Miranda's your guy because he's the only third baseman of the 3.
Yep. And if you do need a catcher, Elias Diaz is out there in over 60% of CBS leagues. The Rockies have 7 games in Coors Field this week. So, again, I think even in a one-catcher league, if you're just streaming, I think Elias Diaz makes a bunch of sense for this upcoming week. For more extensive fantasy baseball coverage, listen to the Fantasy Baseball Today podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, the Odyssey app, or anywhere else podcasts are found. Thanks for listening to Fantasy Baseball Today in 5, and we will be back again tomorrow. Bye-bye.